Once again, we are back at it. Let's try that again because I was muted for some reason and somehow. Appreciate you, Will Murray, for letting me know because I was muted. So, what is up, though, Lions fans? It's your boy, Motor City Don P, and you already know what it is. It's Friday, party, fun. Shout out if you know, use the hashtag. But in all seriousness, folks, when you see me in front of your TV, it's one thing for certain and three things for sure. Number one, the Motor City Cats are indeed back at it. Number two, we came to give you stats, not none of that static. And number three, whatever you do, make sure you keep your Lions news pragmatic. And that's perhaps the most important of them all. And you may be asking yourself, how, Don? How does one keep his or her Lions news pragmatic? Well, it's very simple. I'm glad you asked. It is a 3-step process. You must subscribe, smash like button, and share. And you can do it in any order, just as long as you subscribe, smash like button, and share. Then you have succeeded in keeping your Lions news pragmatic. So what up, though, Will Murray? What up, though, Just a Fan? We've got some things that we're going to get into today. Stock watch. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about stock watch. We drop it like a stopwatch, put up in my drop top. Homie proceeded to cock block. You already know what it is. You know what we do on this show, boy. We flow, boy. But before we flow, boy, we got to check in on your dope, boy. If you know, use the hashtag. If you don't know, it's all good. All right. It is getting into the thick of things. We are in training camp. I believe this is week 3? Okay, I've lost count of the days. Believe it's week 3. Somewhere along there. We are in the joint practices phase. So we got joint practices with the Miami Dolphins, which are finished. And then we have the preseason game against the Miami Dolphins tomorrow. And then next week we have joint practices with the Houston Texans. And then that will be the game that we wrap up the preseason with, the game versus them. So by all reports, the Detroit Lions firmly dominated. Will Murray says, Don P, spitting hot fire. Dylon, and Dylon, because I spit hot fire. Okay. So by all reports, I mean all of them. I'm talking about day 1. I'm talking about day 2. The Detroit Lions firmly dominated the Miami Dolphins. Now, it is joint practices. And why should we be excited about them firmly dominating the Miami Dolphins in joint practices? Well, I'd have to say we shouldn't be surprised, or we shouldn't be not surprised. We shouldn't be excited. Why shouldn't we be excited? Because it's joint practices, right? However, what joint practices do is they give us a glimpse as to what the starters are going to look like when the starters are out there. Now, on defense, we were dominant against the Miami Dolphins. The crazy part is that a lot of starters were missing, especially in day 1. We had Kirby Joseph out. We had Brian Branch there. Was Brian Branch out? I feel like he was. Nah, Kirby Joseph was out. DJ Reed was out. Terrion Arnold was out. So you had Hutch, you had Marcus Davenport, you had Tyleek, you had DJ Reader. So you had your front 4 starting. I believe your linebackers were there: Alex Anzalone, Derek Barnes, and Jack Campbell. Okay. But your secondary, again, didn't have much going on. But what that showed you is if you were able to dominate, right? If Tua Tagovailoa, some people call him Tua turned the ball over, wasn't able to get passes off and things of that nature, that means that the front 4 was doing this thing. That means that the front 7 was doing this thing. And that means that the back 4 had cover, right? They had cover because they were missing 3 starters. Okay. But then you also had people like Ian Kennelly getting interceptions. Shout out Ian Kennelly. He is the undrafted free agent who may make the team as a safety, primarily a special teams guy. Okay. So you had people doing things, putting on shows that maybe you hadn't heard of before, maybe who were on the roster bubble, people that could really, really afford for their stock to go up. And those people also really, really couldn't afford for their stocks to go down. Now, we've got some people in the list. We're going to use Mike Payton's stock watch to talk about. No, Mike Payton is not being controversial. He's just doing a stock watch. Okay, so we've got some people in the list who really, they're not worth mentioning, but we'll mention them anyway just because they're here. People like Amon-Ra St. Brown. The stock is up, ladies and gentlemen. I just wanted to let you know that. I'll take all these suspense and all the surprise away. Amon-Ra St. Brown, stock is up. Okay, stock not dropping for Amon-Ra St. Brown. Love J-Mo. I'm the official keeper of the J-Mo. Amon-Ra St. Brown's not going anywhere. Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to be your number one receiver. Probably for the duration of his time in Detroit, right? Hopefully, Amon-Ra St. Brown is a Barry Sanders, a Calvin Johnson, and that means a lifelong Lion. But I hope his circumstances of being a lifelong Lion have a Super Bowl sprinkled in there, maybe even 2. I won't stop at 2. But I'll let your imagination be your guide because I don't want to be sitting up here like, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6. I don't want to do that. Okay? Because when you do that, you sound dumb, especially when you only win 2. I'm not taking shots because everybody knows what I'm talking about. Okay? I'm not taking shots. It's direct shots to the cranium. Click, clack, pow, officer down. You know what I mean? All right. So let me go ahead and get into who squished the fish. What does that mean? What does that mean, Ron Winarski? All right. Let me go ahead and pull up this article by Mike Payton. It is the Stock Watch. Now, there's some guys you probably won't think are a surprise, and maybe you'll be surprised by some of these things. Okay? Shout out Anson Wells. If you know, you know. But I think there's a guy on here that's in a section where there's going to be surprise from old Anson because he thought it was a lot. But let's go ahead and get to it. It says 5 stock up and 3 stock down for the Lions after joint practices with Dolphins. It's sadly over for some guys, but one former Michigan Wolverine might make it. Okay? So it's sadly over for some guys. They're not going to make the team. It's all good. We don't always make the team. Okay? All right. Ron Winarski says St. Brown better be good. I have 3 jersey cards of him. Well, if you've been paying attention for the last 3 years, he's pretty damn good. First team all pro and things of that nature. All right. The Detroit Lions, excuse me. Woo. Ah, ha, ha, ha. Me. Okay. Yes, I had a frog in my throat. Ribbit. The Detroit Lions have wrapped up their 2 joint practices with the Miami Dolphins. And I have to say that it was a lot of fun watching these 2 pretty different teams go at it. The Lions take these joint practices very seriously for the starters and everyone else because it's live reps in scenarios. It's live reps in scenarios that they can control and want to work on. Some players' stock went up this week and others went down. Let's talk about it. I'm going to tell you someone's stock who went down. Mike McDaniel. Boy, I don't know, okay? I'm going to tell you like this. Mike McDaniel, is it McDaniels or McDaniel? I don't know. I'm trying not to put the S on it where it don't belong. The Miami Dolphins head coach needs an assistant. I'm just saying, I don't know what they got going on over there. He's the head man and the play call. He needs an assistant. Okay? He needs an assistant head coach. Because he may be on the spectrum. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I look at him, I look at his body language. I just had a drink. I don't know what's going on. I look at him, I look at his body language, and I'm like, how does this man command a locker room? You know what I mean? Like, he's afraid. Grant Stewart, Y'all know Grant Stewart said that the Miami Dolphins basically are soft and they have bad practice habits. And they said this to him at the little press conference, and he was like, well, I mean, frankly, I mean, respectfully, and I'll apologize myself to Mr. Stewart. I don't give a flying poop what he says. I'm sorry. I'm just because he's not in the locker room, and everyone has their own opinions, and it's okay for people to have their opinions. I don't agree with everyone's opinion, and you don't have to agree with mine. It's okay. But I'm like, bruh. I mean, I embellished a little bit. He didn't say all of that, but he was just giving that type of energy where he was saying all that. So Mike McDaniel's stock is down. He needs an assistant to help him command that room because, no wonder the Miami Dolphins suck. All right. Stock up. Amon-Ra St. Brown. This guy has always been good, and we know that. But this was a masterclass in how to play receiver. St. Brown beat poor Jack Jones up and down the field for 2 days. And when they tried him with a different corner, he just beat that guy up and down the field. He was making insane catches and doing spin moves, and it was just something. His stock was already way up, but now it's even higher. I just don't know how it can go higher. We already knew Amon-Ra was him, right? We already been trying to change his name to Him-and-Ra St. Brown. TM. That's my nickname. I just came up with it right now. Him-and-Ra St. Brown. Like Jameer Gibbs. And we can call him Jameer Gibbs, right? Him-and-Ra St. Brown. It's mine. Don't try to use that. Especially some other Lions creators that like to steal things from people. I bet not. Well, I wouldn't know if he did it because I don't watch him. But I bet not get no reports that he's over there talking about some Him-and-Ra St. Brown. Bet not be. Bet not be. Wow, I guess my Amon-Ra St. Brown cards are going way up. The fact that he's in your division and you don't know who Amon-Ra St. Brown is telling, Ron. It's telling. All right. So this one is a good one that everyone will probably be happy about. Sione Vaki. The thought process for me, at least, is that when you look at the way David Montgomery's contract is structured, see the way my bank account is structured, I gotta check in the savings. You see a way out earlier than later. I think that's because the eventual idea is to have Vaki be that second punch in the Lions' 1-2 punch of a backfield at some point. These joint practices proved how real that can be because Vaki looked outstanding all week. Big chunk runs of 10 yards or more, multiple red zone touchdowns, and then some solid kick returns for good All right, we back, bro. I've been saying I gotta change the order in which my microphone, because I got the soundboard, so the soundboard runs through the mic. So I gotta wait for the soundboard app to start, and I. All right, we back. And I've been saying that I need to change the order. Somebody, what is this guy? He says, why Peggy Poop? I don't know what your name is. My man said, paying for your backgrounds. Like, brother, you're insulting me. you're insulting me because, you know, you don't understand the skills that I have. So don't talk about it unless you know about it. All right. So we are back. We were talking about Sione Vaki as his stock has risen. The thing that I really don't agree with, and, you know, Mike Payton talks about, what did he say? He said he thinks that Vaki is going to be the number 2 punch in the backfield with Jameer Gibbs. What are you going to call him? Sonic and Tails? I think Sonic and Knuckles is here to stay. I don't know that they're trying to replace David Montgomery with Sione Vaki. I just feel that it's not in the offing. I feel like that's not what they're trying to do. So, yeah. Oh, it's white people. Oh, okay. I know white people from the Woodward Sports chat. What up, though? So let's see. But yeah, I just don't agree with that. I don't. It's Sione Vaki, okay, his stock may be rising, but as far as he's gonna be the guy to replace David Montgomery, I guess we'll see. But I feel more so like Sione Vaki is the backup to Jameer Gibbs, and I feel like Craig Reynolds is the backup to Monty. All right. So Grant Stewart. We talked about Grant Stewart a little bit earlier. He was the one that had Mike McDaniels. Listen, guys. I'm sorry. I just have something to say. I really don't appreciate this mean man talking about my team this way. He doesn't know what kind of men are in the locker room. He doesn't know about the blood, sweat, and the tears. Does anybody have my vape? Have you seen it? Right? He had Mike McDaniel at the podium like that. But Grant Stewart says, I can't believe I'm saying this because I was so against it at first, but I get it with him at kick returner now. He can do it. Do I think he needs to do it every time? No, I don't. But I saw enough this week to think that it could happen. The moment that showed it was possible was when he had a big kick, 90 plus yard kick return touchdown where he really got to show his speed. It got called back for a personal foul, but it wasn't his fault. I want so badly to see the Lions try him at fullback. He also played linebacker pretty well, which we already knew he could do. So we understand why Grant Stewart was signed. We understand why he will make this team, because he is versatile. If you can play linebacker, kick returner, fullback, punt returner, all these things at once, then that is your ticket to being on the Detroit Lions. So no surprise there that Grant Stewart's stock is up. All right, the next person is Amik Robertson. This was a strong week for Robertson. It seemed like every time a Tua Tagovailoa pass got batted down, I was writing in my notes that it was Robertson doing it. Really strong coverage from all of the Lions starting corners against the Dolphins, but it was their nickel who stood out the most to me. Also, the nickel was really the only starting cornerback that was available. Like we said, DJ Reed wasn't practicing. I don't know if he didn't practice the second day. I know he didn't practice the first day. Terrion Arnold didn't practice. He was back at practice today, but just kind of going through drills and light work, individuals working with trainers. He didn't do any of the team stuff. So Amik Robertson was the lone starter, because he's a starting nickel, right, out there as far as cornerback. So he showed up and he showed out. And that's what we expect from Amik Robertson anyway. So it'll be very interesting to see contracts for Amik Robertson, DJ Reader, these guys who are on the last years of their deal and obviously fit the Lions like a glove. So I'll be interested to see what happens with them. Are they going to get re-signed? I mean, we thought Kevin Zeitler was going to re-sign. He loved Detroit. His wife loved Detroit. And now they're in Tennessee. So it is what it is. It happens. It happens. White people says Netflix is practice squad. We shall see. If they're keeping 4 running backs, which they generally do, they generally keep Craig Reynolds as the number 1 backup, and then they'll have Sione Vaki. So I wouldn't know if he was practice squad or not, if they are in keeping with what they are doing or what they have been doing regularly. Hooker is the new starter for the Michigan Panthers of the UFL, maybe, possibly, but I don't think so. All right. Now, this is a surprising name because it's a name that we don't even think about, and then it's a name that whenever you say it, you're like, oh, he is on the team. I forgot all about him. And that is none other than Michigan man himself, Ronnie Bell. This wasn't the first time I was like, wait, is Ronnie Bell making this team? Ahead of the Lions game against the Falcons, we started seeing Bell sticking out more and more in practice. He just kept making catches and making plays. And then against Atlanta, he walked out with an 83.6 grade after showing tremendous run blocking and picking up a few catches. That 6 receiver spot that seemed like it could be go to a rookie has not been decided yet. The former Wolverine might be able to snag it if he keeps this up. That is also if you believe that they're going with 5 or 6 receivers. Are they going with 6 receivers? So they've got Amon-Ra St. Brown, they've got J-Mo, they've got Tim Patrick, they've got Khalif Raymond, they've got Isaac Tesla. Isaac Tesla is making this roster. He's making the team. And he may be getting some snaps week 1 against Green Bay. Is there a need for them to have more than the 5? Okay, so I'm not sure if they need to have more than the 5, if they need to have that 6. But the thing is, if they do have the 6th spot, then it's looking like it's going to go to Ronnie Bell and not Dominic Lovett. Gotta love it. Ron Winarski, you might as well. Do you live in Detroit? You might as well just come on over to the dark side, man. We got cookies. He said he has a Ronnie Bell autograph. I mean, again, you just might as well go ahead and do it. All right, stock down. And we're going to get into this a little bit later when we talk about what we want to see in this preseason game where, if y'all watching that preseason game with me, because for me, it comes on at 3 a.m. Okay? For me, it comes on at 3 a.m. I'm going to be Red Bulled up, okay? I'm gonna be slanging and banging, clanging and banging with them Red Bulls. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be like, no free sponsors, but Red Bull. Red Bull don't need my sponsorship. That's what I need. Red Bull sponsorships. If any Red Bulls reps is out there, holla at your boy. Any sponsorship reps out there, holla at your boy. Okay. Just no gambling and no liquor. I ain't selling that. You know what I'm saying? Or no weed. Stay off the weed. I don't partake. All right. Stock down. Number 1, no surprise. Anybody want to guess who this is before I read it? No surprise. Number 1, whose stock has gone down? Who has not done anything to separate themselves, to stand out above the crowd, and to do anything? Okay? I'm going to tell y'all right now. I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care. We don't care. It is Hendon Hooker. Now, Hendon Hooker is a person who you've gradually seen me be out on. I was pretty high on Hendon Hooker when we drafted him. I thought he would be the heir apparent to Goff. I thought eventually he would replace Goff. Starting over him is a stretch, but I thought eventually he would replace him, when Goff is old, right? I don't know if Hendon Hooker even makes the team. I'm just being honest with you, because here's the thing that's happening. I'll save that one. I'll save that one. All right. So it's really hard not to see this one being over. Okay, because remember he said at the beginning, it's over for some of these guys. So it's really hard not to see this one being over. I looked through all my notes twice, and I couldn't find one positive thing that Hooker did in these joint practices. If you look through your notes twice and you can't find one positive thing that a player did, a player that you were watching, either you have no idea what you're doing as far as evaluation. That's number one. Or number two, the player really is not worthy of your apologies. Okay? If he's really not worthy of your apologies, just don't apologize and move on. Okay? So those are the two things at play here. I kind of feel like we're leaning towards the latter, the second object or the second option, that maybe he's just not worth your apology. Maybe he doesn't deserve it. What up, though, Tactical Sport? Just got out the gym leg day. You was clanging and banging. You know what I'm saying? I started working out when I was 6. My parents did it the right way. Shout out if you know, use the hashtag. Clanging and banging. In his hair, maybe. So granted, I couldn't find any bad things either, but being unmemorable is certainly not what you want to be when you're trying to win a roster spot. Kyle Allen wasn't lighting the Dolphins up, but I at least had some notes on him making some solid throws. The one he had to Khalif Raymond for a first down that turned into more after a helmet to helmet. After last Friday and then Campbell's presser on Monday, Hooker needed to show something this week, and he unfortunately didn't. It just puts him further behind the 8 ball. Okay, so should we get into that later? Because Hendon Hooker is frustrating me. I'm just going to say it. I'm going to say it. Hendon Hooker is frustrating me. Because we drafted you in the 3rd round, and we felt like you were going to be a contributor of some sort. There have been people making excuses about his 2 turnovers on Friday against the Atlanta Falcons. I've heard people diminish it. I've heard people say it's not his fault, which both of those things are a problem. Okay? Oh, he just got strip sacked 2 times. He got strip sacked once. The first one, he was actually running. He had become a runner and just failed to tuck the ball. The second one, he recognized the pressure was coming. He moved up in the pocket and didn't just immediately secure the ball. Right? All of these things are bad. You can't explain them away. Just got strip sacked twice. If you can't look better against someone that they literally brought competition for you in, or in for you, then what are we doing? That's my question. We'll talk about it a little bit later. All right. What up, though, Mr. Morale 313? He's doing your beer can curls. Hendon will be practice squad. I think the only way he's practice squad is if we do get another quarterback in here. I mean, he could be practice squad, but if you need him to be your emergency quarterback, you can't just keep bringing him up, right? Eventually, you're going to have to pay him. So, I don't know if it'll be practice squad. Tactical Sports says security of the football doesn't take into account the ability of the offensive line. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. The security of the football is all on the quarterback, especially when you see it. Because he saw both of those things coming. Like I said, he became a runner and just didn't tuck the ball away and got strip sacked or got stripped. I don't know if it went down as a sack because he was heading towards the line of scrimmage. I don't know if he had crossed it yet. The second one, he saw it. He stepped up in the pocket. Didn't lose with the football. Right? So we can't have people continue to do that. Like, you can't just be loose with the football. Y'all know my stance on people who are loose with the football. If you're loose with the football, you're for the streets. Now, if you're picking up what I'm putting down, that was pretty damn good. If you are loose with the football, you are for the streets. It's got so many different meanings in it. Y'all can pick it out. Y'all can pick out the meanings. All right. How is Gibbs doing? Phenomenal. Khamir Gibbs, phenomenal. All right. This is the man on the thumbnail. As I said, shout out Anson Wells, who believed that this man was pretty much a shoo-in to make the team. Dominic Lovett. Gotta love it. Early on, the 7th round pick was really showing us something out there. And it seemed like if he keeps impressing, maybe there is a small choice. What did it say? A small chance. Maybe there's a small chance he could supplant Khalif Raymond for that kick returner spot and get offense reps and all of that. Then the Hall of Fame game wasn't a great night, and he got hurt after that. Since then, everyone has just kind of passed him by. Guys like Bell and Jackson Meeks, Jackson Flax and Waxon, you know what it is, have taken advantage of Lovett's struggles and injury, and have even shown up time and again. There's still some time for Lovett, but right now he's gone from a possible big role to a practice squad guy who might have to wait till the rest of your season to get his chance. I think for Dominic Lovett, what really did it was that Hall of Fame game. He had the big drop in the first drive. And then he had what was it? That was the one where he got deboed. Right? He got deboed. So I think he's a cut candidate. I know you don't want to cut him. I don't know, man. Sometimes those lights are just too bright when they come on. Remember Dylan Drummond? He had that problem, and he basically waited a whole 2 years, okay, to come back. So I don't know. I don't know about Levitt. We'll see what happens. All right. All right. Mason Miller. It's never good to be a guy who's been at camp all summer long and then get moved down in favor of a guy who's been here a couple of days. That's what happened when the Lions moved Miller to the third team and then new tackle Gunnar Britton to the second team. That might spell the end for the era. The end for the era. All right. So let me be right back. I'm going to go get a drink. Making sure that I, let me clear my throat. If you know, you know. Use the hashtag. All right, we are back. So that was the stock watch. Okay. Some people have been dropping. Some people have been popping. Pop, lock, and drop it. Pop. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. I don't even remember what I said. I'm gonna tell you. Sometimes it just be off the top of the dome. It comes and it goes. I don't remember what I said. But since we talking about Dougie Fresh, 6 minutes, 6 minutes, 6 minutes, Dougie Fresh, you're on. Tomorrow is preseason game number 3. Oh, let me clear my throat. Okay, yeah, I got you. All right. Preseason game number 3 there are certain things that I want to see. There are certain things I don't know if I'm going to see. As we talked about this earlier, I think this is the biggest thing that really matters in the preseason. Right now, I don't think that our backup quarterback is on this roster. And it does suck because you don't want to have to commit more resources to a backup quarterback. What more resources do you want to commit? You've already committed a third-round pick. You've already committed whatever it is that you're paying Kyle Allen. It can't be too much. Now, if you paid me Kyle Allen's contract just for being cool, I would take it in a heartbeat. I don't know what he's making, but I'm sure it's more than me. Okay? But again, I don't think that anyone has taken the bull by the horns. Based off of Mike Payton's observations, based off of other people's observations, based off of my own eyes. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it back to the States to go to training camp, which was my plan. But my hookup didn't hook up. You understand what I'm saying? My hookup was looking really, really not too much like a hookup. I got a friend who has a hookup on tickets. But it wasn't looking too hookup-y. Because I thought, I'm not even going to tell you the price, but it was something crazy that I was originally going to pay. Crazy low. Which is why I was going to make the trip. And then once I found out you had to still pay the taxes and pay, I'm like, I ain't saved nothing. Nothing at all. So you don't really want to spend more resources on a quarterback, a backup quarterback. But we are on a Super Bowl run. And this is what I've said to people before, AKA Salty Pork Chops and other people that agree with them. Backup quarterback is important. We're on a Super Bowl run. If the Philadelphia Eagles didn't have a Nick Foles, if the Philadelphia Eagles had Hendon Hooker instead of Nick Foles, if the Philadelphia Eagles had Kyle Allen instead of Nick Foles, do they win that Super Bowl? No. Absolutely not. Okay? So what I want to see tomorrow, and this is what I want to see. This is like, so I'm becoming a broken record. This is the third time I'm saying this. I want to see Hendon Hooker look like a competent NFL quarterback. Go through your reads, go through your progressions. Maybe most importantly now, okay? Because we wanted to see growth from Hendon Hooker, and they've said some things about, he got us in the right situation pre-snap. He diagnosed this defense pre-snap. He did all this pre-snap. When it's post-snap, that's when the problems start. When it's post-snap, you get loose with the ball and you're for the streets. When it's post-snap, that's when you're pulling the ball down after making one read and running. When it's post-snap. Okay? Pre-snap is very important. Post-snap is when the play happens. And if you can't hold on to the ball post-snap, if you can't read the defense post-snap, gotta get him out of here. Right? So please, Hendon Hooker, I'm begging you. I know you don't watch the Motor City Cats. Shout out to you if you do, though, because that would be great. Right? I'm begging you, Mr. Hooker. Hold on to the damn football, and also make sure that you keep your Lions news pragmatic. No, I'm just playing. Also, again, go through your reads. Don't just tuck it and run after one read, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. But, man, when Kyle Allen comes in after you and looks so much better than you. Like, if we're being honest, Kyle Allen compared to Hendon Hooker's last game looked like he was the father, or he looked like Kyle Allen looked like he was a father to. I was going somewhere with that and I lost it. He looked like he was a father to a high school player, and Hendon Hooker looked like the high school player. It was somewhere. I was going somewhere. I lost it. I lost it. But when Kyle Allen comes in after you and he looks so much better than you, that's a problem. Roman numeral 7, drop it like it's hot. Let me see. What up, though, David? He says, in the Philippines, full-time retired, liking how preseason is going. Shout out to the Philippines. I was in Malaysia, so we probably were around the same time frame. I'm not there now. I'm hoping for a dress rehearsal for the starters. Other than that, hopefully we can see more of the 2 QBs that are trying to get cut from the team. Vikings fans getting refunds for their tickets. Why are they getting refunds for their tickets? A dress rehearsal for the starters would be nice. I feel like the dress rehearsal for the starters is the joint practices. With all the injuries and the things that we've had to deal with, I just want them all to get to the season whole. You know, just be whole, be healthy, all of y'all. I know it's not going to be possible for everyone to just like get 0 injuries in the season, but with this spate of injuries that we've had, I don't even want to see them. I don't want to see them out there. I'm like I've said, I'm a little bit upset that Marcus Davenport is out there in the joint practices, because we know about his history. We know he can't stay healthy, but he's out there. So it is what it is. Are you serious? My man said they don't like the male flamer cheerleaders, so they're getting their money back. Wow. Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. That's crazy. That is crazy. So how many fans have to ask for refunds for their tickets before the organization decides to end the experiment? That's my question. What else do I want to see in this preseason game? It's the preseason, man. It's the preseason. I don't. We're not so we've reached a point in our fanhood and our fandom. We've reached a point with our team that doesn't give two damns about about what goes on there. We don't care. The only thing that's there, the only thing that we care about is the backup quarterbacks. Everybody wants to see Isaac Tesla, SpaceX, aka White Boy Rick. Everybody wants to see him continue doing his thing, continue dominating. And I'm just like, I got nothing else, man. I don't like, it's the preseason, bro. Like we come on and we hang out and we chill and everything in the stream. The game is the game. I don't know. No excitement at all. Said, well, they can go ahead and shut down Tesla, Williams, and Tate for the preseason. I wouldn't be opposed, man. I wouldn't be opposed. Bruh, I don't know. I can't sit up here and and act like there's anything to talk about as far as the preseason and like, players to watch and all these things. Because just as you said, Tactical, those players, Tate Ratledge, Tyleik Williams, Isaac Tesla, shut them down for the rest of the preseason. Okay, we might start it up a few days, out from the regular season, but shut it down. Right? You're going to shut down these players, shut down your establishment. We just... Okay? So... All right. Mailbag. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they reading you? Mailbag. Snick, mailbag. Get your mailbag questions in. Get them in. Bask in it. Y'all ever notice TaylorMade is never here on Friday? What does TaylorMade do on Friday? I should ask him. Like, TaylorMade, what you be doing on Friday, man? You be cooking something? You be making lunch? Cooking dinner? You know what I'm saying? Got your little boo thing that you cook dinner for on Friday nights. What you doing, TaylorMade? What y'all got on the mailbag tip? Let me know. If you have a preseason mailbag question, that would be great because then I could just answer it. But I don't have any expectations. I have no expectations for anybody except for Hendon Hooker and Kyle Allen. And neither one of them seems to be the answer. So we'll have to see what happens on the the waiver wire and who gets cut from their respective teams and things of that nature. Ahmed needs some more reps, but shut him down after this game. I see that one. So I'm gonna disagree with that one because of he's only been playing football for 5 years. So shutting him down for any game that he's not injured for, I wouldn't subscribe to that. Right? He's gonna go out. What was it? Saturday, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I think he just needs as many reps as he can get. I don't think you need to shut him down. I think that he needs to play like this whole game and play, next week's whole game. Um, so yeah, I would say keep him out there. Breathe it in. Mailbag, how many more days do we have to keep Broderick Martin? So Broderick Martin made some plays, man, in the joint practices, or not the joint practices, in the Falcons game, right? He was in the backfield a couple times. Bro, I don't know, man. The only thing I'm really worried about on the defensive line right now is, are we bringing Big Z back? Because the Marcus Davenport reports are the same Marcus Davenport reports every single year. Marcus Davenport looking like a beast out there. Oh my God, Marcus Davenport out here looking like crazy. Man, oh my God. If he could stay healthy. Yep, there we go. There we go. That's it. Like, we know Marcus Davenport crazy. You know what I'm saying? Crazy work. It's nasty. It's nasty. Right? Shout out if you know use that hashtag. I think the only one that would know that one is Mr. Morale 313. It's nasty. It's nasty. It not being nasty and you said it's nasty it was crazy work. But we know that about Marcus Davenport, bro. But I don't know. Just doesn't make sense to me. Ron Winarski says Love will have a bad season. I don't disagree. Mr. Brown 313 says Broderick is like Kells right now. He is fighting for his plucking life. Y'all killing me out here, man. Robert, did you piss on those girls? Robert, tell us the truth. Did you piss on those girls? Wasn't me. Not to my knowledge, no. Not to my knowledge. Y'all have to go and watch that interview. It's Pierce Morgan interviewing, I don't remember the dude's name. As I said, he's the Kansas City Strangler or something like that. Old black dude who didn't have any knowledge as to how his DNA got on all of the victims. The police set him up. There were 13 victims. The police set him up. Okay. No problem. Not to my knowledge, no. Have you ever met this woman before? Not to my knowledge, no. Have you ever had relations with her? Not to my knowledge, no. How do you not have knowledge about relations? That's my question. Tactical Sport says, I've seen it, pure comedy. Isn't it? Isn't it? Have you met Sheree Maxwell? Not to my knowledge, no. I don't know. How is it that your DNA got on the victim? I don't know. I don't know. They had my DNA and they just put it on everybody. It was like, hide your wives, hide your children, hide your husbands. They put my DNA on everybody out here. Like, Which Braxton are you talking? Braxton Miller? Which Braxton do you have that should be cut? Stop it. We both know. We're not keeping Broderick Martin. Listen, man, we need depth, man. Now, would I be surprised to see them bring somebody else in after the cuts? No, I wouldn't be surprised. But is it, we're getting to the last week of preseason. I need to see some Big Z movement Anybody got any updates on Big Z and Cash Doll? I mean, like I said, they broke up publicly and then deleted tweets and Instagram posts. So maybe she said Za'Darius was a great guy. They just couldn't see eye to eye. Maybe they started seeing it at the same eye. I don't know. I need for Za'Darius to have a reason to stay. And if he leaves at this point in time, Cash Doll really and truly royally screwed the pooch. She fumbled the entire bag, not just some of its contents, the entire bag. She fumbled it all. Broderick Martin isn't deaf. I've got an update. Brad isn't signing him. See, Tactical, that's not, we need positivity from you. You ain't being positive right now, okay? We need positivity. We need hopefulness. You know, we need mindfulness. All that. We just need it all. You know? Mr. Morale 313 says, I heard they got back together. Okay, see? Okay. You know, as I told you before, when you go to Ghana with a woman, it's serious. You don't just go to Ghana with a woman. I don't care how much money you got. You don't go to Ghana. Do y'all know the significance of Ghana? I'm going to tell y'all the significance of Ghana. It's in Africa. You understand what I'm saying? You don't take a woman to Africa unless you love her. You know what I'm saying? Africa is a place of love. You feel me? Damn. Tactical Sports said Brad ain't gonna sign him to spite the fans. Come on now. Brad is for the fans. Brad is for the kids. You know what I'm saying? Brad is for the kids. What topic should I do a video about? I got to do a video after I end the show. I can't even talk about I can't even say expectations for preseason game number 3 because I don't have expectations. I just want to see this debacle of a QB competition come to an end, pretty much. Backup QB competition. But he didn't tell us that. He told us the last thing. Did you see his last interview on 97.1? When he said, obviously, there's mutual interest. And, basically he was saying he hopes the deal gets done. So, I'm just saying. What up, though, Zach J? Homes Depot, more saving, less doing. I like that one. Homes Depot, less saving, or less doing, more saving. More saving, less doing. I don't know, man. Like I said, I just want to see it happen. But like I said, I will be here. So I don't think I'm going to sleep tonight, which it's 10:26 a.m. Unless I just get a late nap after work, or I don't know, bro. But I don't envision myself getting up at 3 a.m. to stream this game. So I need to kind of fix my schedule for these types of games, all these 1 p.m. games, until what? Late October, early November. All of those, they're all going to be 3 a.m. games for me. The last interview was GM speak. He told us we don't need another DE, and we think that all the DE does is run a hoop like in Madden. So You may think it's GM speak. Why now? That's my question. He's been staunch on not signing anybody. Brad's a smart man. Why would he just send everybody in a tizzy and in a frenzy, knowing that he's not going to sign him? Because you start doing stuff like that, you start playing those types of games, and then you lose the fan base. Right? And then it gets really loud, and then it gets really distracting. Right? You thought that we were crazy coming at you about the pass rush. Let you not sign Big Z for some dumb stuff. Right? You'll turn into the most loved GM in Lions history to one of the most hated. So, I don't know. If you want to play those games, go ahead and play them. You know what I'm saying? If you want to crown his ass, go ahead and crown him. But he is who we thought he was. And we let him off the hook. A bear got into my garbage and ate my hot wings. That poor bear. Was that Caleb Williams? Oh, you stepped right in it. You left the door wide open and I just stepped in. I think that he thinks he's the smartest man in the room. You know who thought that as well? Bob Quinn. You know what we think about Bob Quinn? Wouldn't piss on fire to put you out. That's what we think about Bob Quinn. So I don't think that's the road that you want to walk down. I'm pretty sure he knows why people hate Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia. You know, Fatty Matty Patty Patricia. All right. So everyone kind of knew what you stood for. I wouldn't do that. All right, I still have no idea what I'm going to do this video about, bro. I have no idea. Guess I have to find an article. All right. Matt Millen, too. Don't forget about that POS. I don't think... See, Matt Millen was just not knowledgeable about anything. I don't think he was smartest guy in the room. Because he couldn't be smartest guy in the room because he didn't know what he was doing. I feel like Matt Millen was... Who was the guy before him? Before Matt Millen? At least the bear didn't paint his nails. So you never know. He could have been in disguise with this sharp claws on instead of a bear. How about stock going up and stock going down for the fringe players? Because I don't care about the fringe players. Have I been paying enough attention to the fringe players? Who is a fringe player for you? Broderick Martin is a fringe player. So we made the additions from the additions. The only one that you hear consistently about is Grant Stewart. DJ Reed has been solid. You don't hear too much about him. You hear bits and pieces and things of that nature. Who else? I don't think I'm not saying that DJ Reed is a fringe player. I'm just saying I'm talking about people that we brought in. I don't know. I can't think of anybody. Chuck Schmidt. Okay. Mayhew was after Millen, not before him. Surprise cuts this year, not specific to our team. I can't do a video about that right now. I would have to do more research because I would have to go around the league. You said it was a black guy? Yeah, Mayhew was after Millen. Bro, I'm telling you, see, a lot of these GMs, I'm not gonna say a lot, okay? So Mayhew had a chance to be Brad Holmes, right? Mayhew had a chance to be Brad Holmes. Obviously, he didn't draft as well as Brad Holmes, but he wasn't a slouch. Mayhew's problem was twofold. He did two things terribly. He drafted Eric Ebron over Aaron Donald, and then neglected to re-sign Ndamukong Suh. So that was Martin Mayhew's downfall. All in one season, you failed to get anyone talented, and you got Eric Ebron. Even if you would have gotten Odell Beckham, that would have been better than what you did. So you failed at that, and then you did not retain Ndamukong Suh. Had Martin Mayhew done either one of these things, I think he keeps his job, and I think he is he's remembered a lot more favorably than what he is. What about just our team surprise cuts? I don't think there are I don't think there's a surprise cut happening. Anybody that like just the people that we talked about today, stock up, stock down. I wasn't surprised by anything. If Dominic Lovett doesn't make the team, it's not going to surprise me because of his performance in the Falcons game, performance in camp, and the fact that he's been injured. Right? Zach Cunningham would be a surprise cut to me, but I don't have any reason to believe that he's not going to make the team. So it'll be hard to make a video about a surprise cut when I feel like everyone who's going to get cut is not a surprise. Broderick Martin would be a surprise cut only because of Brad Holmes wanting to give his draft picks a long leash. But if you said based on performance and based on, situations, I don't think there's too many surprises that are going to happen. I don't think the Lions are going to cut anyone and I'll be like, ooh, I didn't see that coming. Right? How about last 5 to make the roster? Maybe I should just do a 53-man roster prediction video. I don't know. Could do that, I guess. He said, I like Mayhew until he drafted old Stolehands. Yeah, that's the thing. Until he drafted Eric Ebron over Aaron Donald, over Odell Beckham, over all these people, we had no issues with Mayhew. We thought he was doing a good job. Right? He drafted and signed that team that went to Dallas in 2015. And a certain quarterback wet the bed. So, I mean, I don't think it would have been on the defense, messing up, not getting there. So I think we had a real opportunity in 2014. Ask Ndamukong Suh. He'll tell you he thinks that we should have won the Super Bowl that year. So... Broderick Martin, he wouldn't be a surprise cut. I'm saying he would only be a surprise cut because Brad Holmes loves to give a really long leash to his draft picks. I mean, he cut James Mitchell, who I think he got on the field for like 2 plays the entire 4 years that he was here. So, I mean, other than special teams. So that would be the only surprise to me. I'm more so surprised if he does not get cut. Eric Brickhands Ebron. Did I read that our old bed wedding QB is hurt? Yes. Yeah, he's hurt. I don't know what exactly is wrong with him. I don't know how much time he's going to miss, but I heard that he is currently injured. So, I find it crazy how so many people are getting injured in training camp and the preseason, and we're screaming and hollering for 18 games, yet we want to see all this extra football, but I think it's going to lead to a lot more injuries. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and stab out. I don't know what I'm going to do as far as a video. I'll find something. All right, once again, I appreciate everybody for coming through, stopping by, hanging out for a drink and conversation. Yes, I did have the drink, right? The Motor City Cats are indeed back at it. We came to give you stats, not none of that static. Whatever you do, make sure you keep your lines news pragmatic. And we are out. Peace.